Okay, so nothing quite jolts you awake, like stepping into a shower expecting nice hot water and getting ice cold.
Ugh, yeah, that's a rough start to the day.
And it's especially jarring when it's, your usually super reliable Rinnai tankless heater flashing that puzzling error code 11.
It absolutely can be. And error code 11, well, it's a real showstopper because fundamentally it just means your heater's ignition isn't working.
Right.
And if there's no ignition, well, you get no hot water. It's a direct link, really, to that cold shower shock.
Yeah. Okay. So that immediate unpleasant surprise is just the surface level of what error code 11 means.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news, I think, is that this deep dive should make the whole problem feel, well, solvable, not totally overwhelming.
Hopefully.
Our sources today give us a pretty comprehensive step-by-step guide. It's all about understanding, figuring out, and maybe even fixing error code 11 yourself.
Right, empowering you, the listener.
Exactly. So our mission here is to equip you with clear, easy-to-follow solutions. The goal is you feel confident tackling this specific issue.
Okay, let's do it. Where do we start?
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources break down troubleshooting error code 11 into, looks like, 5 key areas.
5 main things to check. Got it.
And if we're talking about ignition failures, I guess it makes sense to start right at the very beginning of that whole process, the spark.
Makes perfect sense. And that beginning is often right there with the igniter itself. The sources are pretty clear on this. The igniter is frequently, and I quote, at the heart of error code 11 troubles.
Okay, the heart of the trouble. So what's the first step?
Well, to start troubleshooting, you'll want to cycle the unit, turn it off and on again, and watch closely. Look for sparks coming from that igniter.
Just look for the spark. Seems simple enough, but what if you don't see one? Or maybe it looks weak.
Right. If you don't see that clear, strong spark, the diagnosis kind of points to a few potential causes. It could be something straightforward, maybe like loose or damaged components, a wire that's come off or something.
Easy fix, maybe?
Maybe. Or it might be a bit more complex, like incorrect voltage getting to the electric board that controls the igniter.
Ah, an electrical issue.
Yeah, the igniter needs a very specific amount of power to create that intense spark. If the voltage is off, too low or too high, it just won't perform right.
Okay. What else with the igniter?
Well, beyond the spark itself, you should also inspect the igniter rod for any visible scale, like mineral buildup or carbon buildup, grime, basically.
Right, gunk.
Exactly. And if you find any, the key, and this is important, is always to follow the manufacturer's specific cleaning instructions. Don't just scrape away at it.
A good tip.
Because if you're not getting that initial spark, like you said, the whole hot water process just stops. Dead halt.
So it really is the foundational step. If that spark isn't happening reliably, we're stuck at square one. Doesn't matter what else is working perfectly.
Precisely, yeah. You could almost think of the igniter as the spark plug for your water heater. It's not just that it sparks, but how consistently and strongly it sparks. It's often the subtle key, to figuring out error code 11.
Okay, igniter checked, maybe cleaned or fixed. We've got a spark. What's next in the chain?
Fuel.
Gas supply, right. Makes sense. You
Yeah.
need spark and fuel. Your tankless water heater needs a consistent, proper gas supply to function.
It's absolutely essential. It's the other half of the equation for ignition.
Okay, so beyond just checking is the main gas valve on. What's a common mistake or, I don't know, an overlooked aspect people run into with gas supply?
Well, you mentioned the first one, which, believe it or not, gets overlooked sometimes, just making sure your home's main gas supply is actually turned on.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. After that, a really smart move is to cross-check other gas appliances in your house, your stove, maybe your dryer.
Okay.
If they're working fine, it helps you rule out a bigger whole house gas issue versus something specific to the heater line.
Good point. So if the stove works, the problem's likely at the heater.
Probably. Our sources also highlight that incorrect gas pressure can be a problem. This can often be caused by dirt or debris clogging up the gas system somewhere. Think of it like cholesterol in your gas lines. It restricts the flow.
Okay, restricted flow.
Yeah. And there's one specific tip, especially for folks with a recently installed Rinnai unit.
Oh, what's that?
You might actually need to bleed trapped air out of the gas pipes leading to the heater. Air in the line can definitely cause those initial ignition problems, make it sputter.
Right, like air in a fuel line in a car.
Exactly the same principle. It's like, your car's sputtering, first thing you check is the fuel gauge, right? Sometimes it's the simple stuff. Without that steady, pressurized flow of gas, the heater just can't ignite properly.
So it's not just having gas present, but having the right pressure and a clean, unobstructed flow. If the gas supply isn't right, it's basically starving itself.
That's a good way to put it. Starving for fuel.
Okay, so let's say we're confident the igniter is sparking strong and the gas is flowing correctly. What's the next checkpoint?
Right. So the next step in the sequence, according to our sources, is looking at the flame rod.
The flame rod. Okay, what does that do?
This little sensor, it plays a really vital role. Its job is basically to confirm that ignition has actually happened. It senses the flame.
It's like a safety check. It confirms the gas actually lit.
Precisely. It's the ignition confirmer. If it doesn't send that thumbs up signal, that confirmation that a flame is present and stable,
Then what?
then the system's safety protocols kick in and shut down the gas supply. That prevents dangerous unburned gas from building up inside the unit.
Okay, critical safety feature then. So how do you troubleshoot the flame rod?
For troubleshooting, you'll want to do a thorough visual inspection. Look at the flame rod itself and, importantly, its wiring.
Checking for damage.
Yeah, you're checking that everything looks physically okay, and crucially, that all the wiring connections are secure, tight, and not corroded or damaged.
Loose wires again.
Can be. Also, if you find any dirt or, soot or debris on the flame rod itself or its gasket, a really thorough cleaning is needed. Again, follow manufacturer guidelines.
And if it's actually broken?
Yeah, if parts are obviously damaged, cracked, or look heavily corroded, the sources are clear. Prompt replacement is necessary. It's too important for safety to mess around with a faulty one.
Okay, makes sense. So we've covered the internal stuff,
Yeah.
dark, fuel, flame confirmation. But it sounds like how the heater interacts with the outside air is also vital. Let's talk venting.
Yes, absolutely. Venting.
It might seem less directly connected to ignition than, say, gas or the igniter itself, but faulty venting can definitely hinder performance and trigger that error code 11.
Indeed it can. It's all about airflow.
I get the need for airflow for combustion, fire needs air.
Right.
But how does faulty venting specifically lead to an ignition error like code 11 and not just maybe poor efficiency or shutting down later?
That's a great question. It's really about the heater's ability to efficiently bring in fresh air for combustion and also expel the exhaust gases safely.
Breathing properly, basically.
Exactly. So the first check is straightforward. Inspect both the intake vent, where air comes in, and the exhaust vent, where fumes go out. Look for any blockages, leaves, nests, snow, whatever.
Simple stuff first.
Often an overlooked yet incredibly simple fix. Clear them out if needed. Then, you need to look more closely at the entire venting system itself. Pay attention to how it was installed and the overall condition of the pipes and fittings.
Installation matters here, too.
Big time. Our sources specifically point out that incorrect installation may be the wrong slope, too long a run, or using the wrong type of pipe, or even just damaged components don't just mess up the airflow.
Okay.
They can also, surprisingly, lead to contamination of the flame rod.
Oh, really? How?
Well, if the exhaust isn't clearing properly, or if there are leaks pulling in contaminants, that stuff can get deposited onto the flame rod, preventing it from sensing the flame correctly.
Wow. Okay. So bad venting can actually foul the flame sensor, bringing us right back to an ignition confirmation problem.
Exactly. It creates a feedback loop sometimes.
So it's not just about getting exhaust fumes out, but ensuring the whole system breathes cleanly, affects efficiency, safety, and sensitive components like that flame rod. That interconnectedness is really key, isn't it?
It really is. Which, funnily enough, brings us to our fifth and final troubleshooting area, and this one might genuinely surprise some people: water and moisture concerns.
Moisture. For water heater, that does sound kind of counterintuitive.
Oh.
How can water cause an ignition problem?
Right, but it absolutely can contribute to error code 11.
Okay, so what exactly are we looking for? Like obvious leaks?
Yeah, you'll want to inspect the unit carefully for any signs of leaks, drips, or even just excessive condensation or moisture buildup inside the casing, especially around the electronics.
Electronics and water. Bad mix.
Always a bad mix. The problem here is that moisture, even condensation, can act as a conductor. It can cause short circuits on the sensitive electronic boards or lead to corrosion on electrical contacts and connectors.
And that could mimic an ignition failure signal.
Precisely. It can directly cause ignition failures by shorting out the igniter circuit or interfere with the signals from sensors like the flame rod.
Okay. Any specific checks here?
Yes, especially if you have a condensing Rinnai unit. Those are designed to produce condensate as part of their high-efficiency operation.
Right, they have a drain line.
Exactly. You need to inspect that condensate drainage system, make sure it's clear, draining properly, and not blocked or backed up. If that system gets clogged, the water can back up inside the unit.
And cause those moisture problems near the electronics.
You got it. Leading right back to potential ignition issues and error code 11.
So it's not just about keeping the hot water flowing through the pipes, but also keeping unwanted moisture away from the sensitive guts of the machine.
That's a perfect summary.
It really highlights just how, well, precise these modern tankless systems are,
Yeah.
and how something seemingly minor, like a bit of condensation backup, can throw the whole complex operation off.
They're efficient but sensitive.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does all of this mean for you, the listener? If you encounter error code 11 on your Rinnai, yeah, it can definitely be frustrating.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
But as we've kind of walked through, it's a challenge you're now much better equipped to actually tackle, right?
Absolutely. You've basically got a clear roadmap now to diagnose these issues. We've gone from igniter sparks
Right, checking the spark first.
to making sure the gas supply is solid, checking that flame rod function, ensuring the venting is clear and correct.
And even looking out for those surprising moisture issues.
Yeah, covering all the key bases identified in our sources.
That's really the goal here. You have a comprehensive guide now to understand and address these common problem areas.
And remember, while we've laid out the steps based on the sources, if you ever feel uncertain about any of these procedures, maybe uncomfortable working with gas or electricity,
Which is totally understandable.
yeah, or if the problem just persists after you've tried these things,
Yeah.
please don't hesitate to call in a qualified professional.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Safety first, always. Your consistent hot showers, that peace of mind, it's definitely worth it.
Well worth it. No more icy surprises.
So next time that cold water blast threatens your morning, hopefully you'll feel, a bit more empowered. You'll know exactly where to start looking. Knowing your system a bit better, even down to its potential quirks like error code 11, means you're in a better position to keep that warmth flowing.
Maybe it's even worth taking a quick look at your vents in that condensate drain line next time you're near the unit. Just a quick visual check.
Proactive maintenance, huh? Couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Just to maybe preempt any future chilly surprises. Good